Hey guys, Ms. Torres here. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the lens selection that we have available here at school for you guys to use in your BTEC class and also for other projects that you might have to do. So to start off, there are a lot of different kinds of lenses, and you might find that we're very resourced and we're very lucky, and certain lenses can be used for both photography and video or for both. Okay, so how I'm going to work through is I'm first going to talk about the prime lenses that we have, which are the lenses that they just have a fixed focal point, and then I'll go into the zoom lenses that we have and when you would use those. All right. So the first one we're going to go ahead and start off with is our 28 millimeter. Okay. The 28 millimeter, it's a wide angle and it's really good for landscapes. It's good for wide shots and like interiors. So if you just want to get a nice wide angle, this is a great one to use. It is really good for photography and video. If you're going to be doing video, it's good for handheld shots and those establishing shots. And then if you're going to be doing photography, it's really good for outdoor photography or sometimes street photography if you want to get just a broader perspective. It doesn't get too close to, don't get too close to people's faces because you'll have quite a bit of distortion, where people's faces look like more oval or blown or bigger. So that's just an option to have there. So your 28 millimeter. The next lens would be your 50 millimeter, your nifty 50, which is kind of, if anyone is going to start out with a prime lens, it would be this one. It's really lightweight, it's really versatile, and you can use it for so much. It's great for portraits, if you're going to think about photography, or it's great for doing interviews where you can just have, really gives you a nice focal point. You're focusing on your subject and you can have that nice bokeh effect if you're shooting at a lower aperture, right? This one here goes down to 1.8. If you ever feel like investing in one, 1.8 is like, these are quite affordable, but you can go down to 1.2, 1.4, and those are hundreds of dollars, but also incredible if that's something you want to pursue. It's really good for low light, and these are really good for B-roll as well. So great intro lens. I would definitely say if you're going to experiment with filming with the prime lens, this would be the first one. And if you want to experiment with portraiture starting out, this is the one to go to. The next one that we would have is your 85 millimeter. Okay, so 85 millimeter is a bit tighter. It's really good for dramatic shots. I use it all the time for headshots. When I'm doing any kind of personal photography, it's just really clear. It works really fast. It's great for blurring your background and just really focusing on that facial compression. And it just also gives you a nice film look. This camera lens is not really good for tight spaces because you're getting so close to someone's face naturally. You need to have space to move around, to back up. It's great for street photography actually because you can get some good close-ups without actually getting closer to people. This is why I like this one for portraiture so much, because it gives some space if you don't know the person. So those are the prime lenses that we have here. Those for checking them out, you guys know what you need to do. Just be really careful with them. So now we're going to get into our zoom lenses. So to start off, you guys have a standard kit lens. The kit lens that comes with the Canons is about an 18 to 55 millimeter. So it goes from really wide to giving you a little bit of that close-up. Great one to start off with. But if you want to have some that are a little bit more specialized, we do have a really nice selection. And these are very specialized, expensive lenses. To start off with, we have one here that is 10 to 28. 10 millimeters to 28 is very extreme wide. This is to get kind of like a good wide open space. The problem with this one is that if you try to use this camera lens to get very close to someone, you're going to have extreme distortion of their face. It's basically going to look like their head is like in a cone or something. And you don't want that. Even though on cameras, certain cameras you can turn off the distortion, but especially when you import things into either Lightroom or into Final Cut Pro, you can adjust it. This is really only for those big, wide open scenes. Okay, so this one here, I would probably say landscape photography, it's a 10 to 24 millimeter or just big establishing shots. That's one here. Now, the next one I would say is we have on the Blackmagics, we have a very, 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 very nice 24 to 70. A 24 to 70, what it is, it's probably where you could use for events. It's great for flexibility. You can change focal lengths really quickly. And this is just the lens that people will buy if they're going to buy a good zoom lens. This is one that I own. We have a Sigma here. It's excellent. It's on the Blackmagics. We don't take them off the Blackmagics, but on your own, if you ever look into purchasing one, this is really the one to go for. So most of the time people, when they're filming, actually don't really like film a lot. With Zoom, I find that they might have a fixed perspective, but this is a great one to start out with. So this one, 24-70, worth it. But we also have a Canon 24-105 millimeter, and this is one that I shoot a lot with at school as well, and I'm doing stuff for yearbook. So a good one to try out. So can use it for photography and video. So finally, we're going to get into these really big ones. I'm going to take off here see how it shows. So this is your 70-200, and this is a zoom lens. This kind of lens is not one that people would typically use for video, but it's because it's a telephoto lens. So this is used better for photography. This is fantastic for sports. This is like the lens that I use when I'm shooting any kind of sports function, or if I'm shooting something downstairs in the theater where I need to get people's faces. I want to get like good light, but I can't get really close to them. And I cannot. It's really sharp. It's really powerful, but it is heavy. Okay. If you're going to be filming with this, it's better on a tripod. You want to make sure that you have that. And also what's actually really interesting is that we have an extender as well that you can put onto your camera that will extend it even more 2 times. So you might be able to get to like 300 millimeter and get even closer. Okay, so how it works with an extender, I took off the lid here, is you have this really nice lens here, and then you have the extender. You match up red with red. There's like 2 red dots. I don't know if you guys can see them. And then you turn it, and then all of a sudden your camera has turned from a 70-200 to a 140-400, which is quite close. Okay, so you guys can be far away and get some really, really good shots. Please remember when you're done with it to take it off and then to put the cover on both ends of the lenses because you don't want it to get dirty. So that's how you would use it there. Make sure when you're using these kinds of lenses, you need to have really good light. For all of this, you need to have really good light, but some are stronger with lower light. And those would be the ones that are like your 85 millimeter, your 50 millimeter. You will have a lot of time to practice with this. And also on our BTEC website, I'll be giving you just a little cheat sheet so you can think about what would be the best choice for you. But that's ultimately your choice as a content creator. What are you creating? What's the effect you want it to look like? Why do you want it to look that way? And then what's the best tool for it? All right.